Welcome to the Find My Catalyst podcast. This podcast is designed to help you find your catalyst, that nudge to help you take the next step and start doing the things you are meant to do. Start solving tough problems. We all have problems we know we can solve, but we struggle with this. Where do you find that nudge, that catalyst to help you take the next step? Hopefully you find it here. This is a unedited episode. I am recording it just prior to going on a cruise where I'm going to deliver a workshop that will focus on one of the topics that I'll talk about a little bit later in the episode. And what I thought I'd do, and the reason I'm a bit behind here, is I wanted to find time to recap some things, kind of go through a reflection practice relative to the year and share a bit about where I'm going to be focusing time, energy, and attention as we go forward. And I'd love to hear from you. What did you learn in the past year, and where will you be spending your time and energy as you go forward? As a listener to the podcast, you can always contact me either directly via Twitter, just at me at Simmons_M. My DMs are open. You can also connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And I am the original Mike Simmons on LinkedIn. So linkedin.com/Mike Simmons. If you just search for Mike Simmons Catalyst, you'll find me there. So reflection. It is awesome to be reminded of things that we know. And one of my favorite Jim Collins isms from the foreword to The Effective Executive is stop what you would not start. Stop what you would not start. And that is something I was reminded of a couple of times as I went through the year. What should I eliminate? What should I push off? What should I decide to cut off? Reduce? Still working on dropping those extra pounds. I need to reduce sugar. Probably could benefit from reducing alcohol. The things that I'm going to do more of, love getting out and playing golf. I'm going to reduce the amount of times that I take the cart out. I rode in the cart so many times last year, and I forgot how much I really appreciate walking the golf course. So stop what you would not start. Find opportunities to reduce. And when you find opportunities to reduce, what you'll find out is you actually can simplify your life. You can simplify your life by reducing the number of choices that you make around clothes you wear. Jen gives me a hard time. I wear pullovers, I wear white t-shirts, I wear black t-shirts. Most times I wear black t-shirts, and most times I wear black pullovers. I've got a blue one on now for those of you who are watching video. So stop what you would not start. Jim Collins, good thing to reflect on. Simplify by reducing, which aligns with cutting off some of those things you wouldn't start. Give yourself space. And this is something that I'm not only struggled with early in the year last year and went through some really dark times right around the beginning of Q2 through middle part of Q2, wasn't bringing on customers at the level that I had expected at that point in time, and really started to go through some self-doubt, had to work through some challenges associated with that, where I was second guessing my approach, second guessing how I was going after the market, how I was communicating, who I was communicating with, all of these things. Well, what I found is I was just pushing a bit too hard. I was overextending myself. I was not giving myself enough space to recover from a lot of the transition that I went through, exiting the role that I had at the end of 2021 and kicking off 2022. So another reflection on the year is give yourself space. And that's something I'm going to focus time and attention on as we go through this year. And one of the ways that I give myself space is, as you know, if you follow my Twitter account, you see the pictures of the golf course. So again, stop what you would not start, simplify by reducing, give yourself space. Another thing I was reminded of throughout the year in a lot of the client work that I was doing is there are no shortcuts. As much as some of the folks that I worked with would love to see a shortcut, a quick fix, a trick, something that would accelerate how you get from where we are right now, that current state, to the desired state a bit faster. The reality is there are no shortcuts to it. It's process and practice and putting in the work. If you're out there looking for a shortcut, or if someone is telling you that they have a shortcut, I would suggest that you focus time, energy, and attention on the fundamentals. Get back to the fundamentals. Why do you do the work that you do? What problems do you solve in the marketplace? Why is it important to solve those problems in the marketplace? Who do you solve those problems for in the marketplace? Why do they struggle with solving it? Why should they be working with you? Get back to the fundamentals. So the fundamentals are the fundamentals, and that's how I'll wrap up the reflection. Just to recap quickly, stop what you would not start. Simplify by reducing. Give yourself space. There are no shortcuts. The fundamentals are the fundamentals. So as we transition out of 2022, we turn the page and we switch into 2023. Where am I going to be putting time, energy, and attention? Well, number one, you will see the podcast back on every week. I've got 10 episodes in the can, so we will not miss another week. That is my commitment to you. I'll make sure that the content goes out live on a weekly basis. We're going to shoot for, I think, Monday evening / Tuesday morning as far as timing. I may actually move into a mode where I do one of these unedited versions of the podcast, where I turn the video on and answer some listener questions and go through that practice once a week, which means we would move to 2 a week. But I'd love to hear feedback from you. What kind of questions do you have? Where would you like to see me go deeper into specific topics, sharing personal experience? Who would you like me to have on the podcast as far as guests? The areas that I'm focusing the business on as I move into 2023, number one, I have an objective, a goal of 24 speaking opportunities. I've already got 3 of those booked. I'd like to split those between 12 keynotes, delivering a specific message on the stage in front of a group of people, where there's the content is not only interesting and delivered in an impactful way, but it's practical so that people can put the work into practice. People can walk away from listening to that talk and have a high level of clarity around what the next logical step is, so they can start executing on the thing that they're working on. So keynotes, stage type work, I'd like to do 12 of those this year. Again, total of 24 speaking, 12 in that keynote stage type format, and then 12 in a workshop / facilitated workshop format. And the 3 primary workshops that I'll focus on delivering in organizations, and these are the ones that I've delivered over an extended period of time, whether they're directly with clients or on a specific project basis, but workshops around the game plan, goal setting and execution through clarity and focus, workshops around simplifying sales for the non-traditional sales pro. So think about, how do you help those in a customer success role get more comfortable with leveraging sales skills? And I know that's a word that not a lot of folks in customer success want to talk about, but more and more they're taking on revenue responsibilities. How do we work through things like account planning and problem solving, project management, call planning, holding effective meetings, facilitating discussions, proposal planning, helping customers navigate some of those investment decisions that they're making. So simplifying sales through for the non-traditional sales pro. And that is basically the understanding your customer, know your business, know your approach as a rep, leverage storytelling, get better at gathering data, conducting research, better at time management, and better at project management. And the third one is around simplifying execution. And this is where we apply things like you'll see in the newsletter that I share on LinkedIn, which are the Catalyst Sale tools. How can we apply Catalyst Sale tools to get better at focusing on the things we were meant to be, avoiding the chasm of doom or the chasm of death? Execution, goal setting and execution through clarity and focus, applying things like the game plan, leveraging territory planning to create focus through lines of clarity. So simplifying execution, leveraging the Catalyst tools. So those 3 workshops: game plan, simplifying sales, and simplifying execution. I'll continue to do the advisory, coaching, and training work. That's the primary part of the business, the core part of the business, where we make our money at Catalyst Sale. Working with organizations, working with technical founders, specifically those founders who are focused on or building enablement technology that enables humans to do better human things. And the direct area of focus is around emerging technology. I've been fortunate enough to work with a couple of companies in the AR, VR space, in the cybersecurity space, and the AI ML space, which is really exciting. I want to get into some digital twin type work and the what is it, industry 4.0, I think is what they're calling it. Really starting to get into some of these emerging tech areas that are going to help transform the way businesses execute, go to market, and deliver not only for their customers but for their people. Well, how this all ties together is in 4 key topic areas. So these are the 4 key areas that you'll hear me talk about, hear me write about, and ideally there's a book that comes out toward the end of the year. So I'm laying out a couple of goals for the year, and it's leadership, culture, revenue, and execution. Everything that you hear or see will tie to one of those 4 areas: executing, getting things done; revenue, figuring out ways to go to market; growing our businesses through the combination of systems, process, frameworks, tools, and thinking; culture, how do we enable people to perform and lead inside their organization, both lead self, lead other people, and lead teams, and then ultimately how this comes together from a leadership perspective. So I hope to see you more relative to the Find My Catalyst podcast. I'd love to hear more about who you'd like to see on the podcast, what format you'd like to see. Would you like these to be shorter? Would you like them to be a little bit longer? We can go in deeper. Would you like to see more video content? Let me know. Provide me with some feedback. Send your questions to me at Simmons_M on Twitter. Find me on LinkedIn. If you know of somebody who would find this episode valuable, please share it with them. If you know somebody who's looking for some help in their go-to-market, help in building better leaders inside their organization, help in thinking a bit differently about the way that they sell inside their organizations or serve their customers, be happy to have a conversation. And if I can't help them, I'm happy to point them in a direction to somebody who can help them. Sales is a thinking process. Business is a thinking process. Life is a thinking process. How are you thinking differently about your process?